South Carolina mandatory COVID-19 isolation. And I'm coming to you today to talk about some things that okay, I'm getting a little stumbly here because I just got through with a little running workout. I'm back on the track again. I'm talking about isolation. We might be isolated, but I don't feel isolated from people out there, because you'd be surprised how many people are out there exercising. I was surrounded by 7 people a little while ago at a distance, but everybody is getting outside and exercising. Now again, I know, just like the Life Quest videos, they're unscripted, unrehearsed. Truck just went by with the loudest muffler you could ever think of. But anyway, I want to talk about exercises we can do without going to the gym. And again, I know I told you in a previous video how everybody was getting mad at us because the governor mandated a shutdown. And of course, that was not our fault. We wanted to stay open for everybody, but unfortunately we couldn't. And in retrospect, yeah, we're doing the right thing now by staying isolated, given the statistics I've read. And there's another thing about science. Now, I have a lot of scientific information and a lot of scientific facts, but there is no such thing as a fact that is not subjugated to an opinion. And what I mean by that is you can take 20 doctors of, let's say, cardiology, put them in one room, and they're going to have 20 different opinions on cardiac rehab or cardiac surgery. And so, getting to my main point, wanted to talk about exercises again that we could do outside of the gym, and you can still get that pump on. Now, this is a exercise or a workout I actually learned back in my wrestling days. And again, everybody wants to hear great professional wrestling stories. One of the great ones I remember earlier in my career, I was in Rockingham, North Carolina one night, going to a show, and I remember meeting Frenchie Bernard. And if anybody does not know who Frenchie Bernard was, he was the guy who took care of Andre the Giant's belongings in his house when Andre the Giant was out on the road. And anyway, he had a ranch, Andre the Giant did, that was just north of Rockingham, North Carolina. And my memory is going blank. I don't remember what the name of that town was. So anybody living near Rockingham can tell me, that would be great. And anyway, I had met Frenchie, had a great conversation with him at an autograph signing, and I didn't realize Andre was in town. But anyway, that night, Andre came to visit us at the Rockingham National Guard Armory. And I tell you, he reached out to shake my hand and made my hand disappear within his own hand, thus crushing my hand without putting any pressure on it. The main event that night, if I can recall correctly, was Wahoo McDaniel taking on Stan Lane. And anyway, they were huddled around the table sharing stories. And this story eventually is not an Andre the Giant story, but a Wahoo McDaniel story. And everybody referred to Wahoo McDaniel as this crazy Indian, this temperamental Indian. That was not really too far from the stretch. Wahoo, very unique guy, former NFL player, one of those consummate NFL former players that knew anything and everything there was about football. And in football season, he would bring the portable TV, sit there in the locker room and watch the football game before and after his match. Well, also Wahoo was an avid hunter and an avid fisher. And in fact, during weekend shows, we would see Wahoo, and he was always going to a fishing tournament the next morning. He was working a match Saturday night and driving to wherever it was, going to a fresh fishing water tournament the next morning. Wahoo was also known to be somebody who packed heat. He carried a gun with him. And in this case, he was sharing a story with Andre and Stan about the time that he was in a bar altercation. And it still boggles my mind how this actually happened, but the way Wahoo described it was that he pulled out his pistol in the altercation, and of course Wahoo was not one to take a gun and just wave it at you to scare you. He was going to use it, and in fact he did use it. So he pulled out his gun and pulled the trigger, and the guy that he was aiming at somehow moved out of the way at the right time. How that happens, I don't know. It's a combination of luck and a combination of timing. That's all it was. But he moved out of the way at the right time, and right then and there, he shot another wrestler who has since passed, Dick Slater, in the leg. How does that happen? Okay, so anyway, he went up to Dick Slater and said, Dickie, I'm sorry. Dickie said, Chief, you just better get on out of there. And again, he took off, and no witnesses, no nothing like that. Just one of those interesting stories. And those are stories you kind of hear from the other wrestlers telling other wrestlers, and not so much these things you see on a shoot interview, which, if you don't know what a shoot interview is, all the wrestlers do it now, giving all these retrospects of their career. But you know what? I think some of these shoot interviews are a little bit more fake, more scripted out than what you actually saw in a wrestling match. And I can understand why, and I'll go into that another time. But anyway, a good workout that wrestlers used to do was they used to take a deck of cards, okay? And two exercises the wrestlers believed in were squats and push-ups. Squats and push-ups. When Ivan trained me, he had me do 25 squats, 25 push-ups, followed by 25 squats, 25 push-ups, till we got X amount. And in a lot of the wrestling dojos, a lot of wrestlers believed in squats. However, a few of the legendary wrestlers used to take a deck of playing cards, and you can see here I'm fidgeting with these playing cards, shuffling them up, because I'm not a good card player, so I'm not going to be a good shuffler. However, what they would do with the cards, and let's just say you had a black card that represented squats and a red card represented push-ups. So what they would do was pull out a card, and we got the 10 of hearts right here, and the 10 of hearts was a red card, so the wrestler would do 10 push-ups. So I get down here and do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Immediately get up and pull out another card. And this is the 9 of clubs black card. So black card would represent 9 squats. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so once you got done with the 9 squats, then you would pull out another card, queen of clovers. Okay, now when a wrestler pulled out a face card, they would actually do 30 of these, which I'm not going to do 30 now. But the point I am making is you can, pretty much everybody has a deck of cards in their house. Whether they know how to use it, or if you're like me, you don't know how to use it, you can take that deck of cards, and if you pull out a face card, maybe do 15 reps, 12, 15 reps. And then, whether it's squats or push-ups, then again, you pull out another card, 2 of diamonds. I would do 2 push-ups, followed by the 3 clovers, 3 squats, and so on until I ran out of the deck of cards. This workout, if you time it right and pretty much do it non-stop, only stopping to pull out what your next card is, 5 of clubs, and continue doing that, that's going to take you, give or take, right at 30 minutes to complete the workout. So it's, again, 2 exercises, squats and push-ups, squats and push-ups. So if you want a good leg day and a good chest day combination, do that workout. And I promise you, because I ended up doing that a lot of times in different conditioning phases of my life, it is a very good workout. So again, things you can do while you are not at the gym. So for right now, everybody, I do want to wish everybody being safe, and we're just keeping our everything monitored on everything and seeing when it is we can be open. It just seems like right now it's getting worse before it's getting better. I'm going to talk about in a future video airborne pathogens as we continue, and my take on certain things that people are doing to protect themselves and why they're protecting themselves now and don't protect themselves from other airborne pathogens that are out there that we breathed for all of our lives. But anyway, thank you very much, and I thank every last one of you for your friendship and being my friend throughout all this. I'm going to continue to be your friend if you continue to be my friend, and where everybody is going to get through this together. So hopefully this is something you can use. Just get a deck of cards, squats, push-ups, or combine any two exercises, curls, kickbacks, whatever it is you want to do. And we can just keep going with this, everybody. So again, I want to thank everybody. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.